Good morning. Today we are going to read Skippy John Jones Class Action by Judy Shachner. This is a 4.0 accelerated reading level book. Skippy John Jones was just dying to go to school. And nobody, not even his mama, was going to stop him. But she did. By the scruff of his neck. "School is for dogs," stated Mama Junebug Jones empathetically. "They're unruly and drooly," she added dramatically. "Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. Plus, a bus full of dog breath would smell atrocious. Good golly, Pop Lolly. It's such a no-brainer. If there is a good dog, it's because of its trainer." His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Then she added, "You're Skippy John Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that." "He looks in the mirror every day," said his sisters, Jezebel, Jillyboo, and Jujubee. "But all he sees are chihuahuas." "Arf, arf," barked Jujubee. After his family left him to think, the Chihuahua did exactly what his mama suggested. But not before he bounced around his room for reading some books. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I don't get the fuss. It's not like a pigeon is driving the bus." Then he climbed up his sister's kitty condo ladder for a peekaboo in the mirror. "Holy Julio!" squealed Kitty Boy. "How many chihuahuas am I?" he wondered out loud. Then he took a deep breath and, using his very best Spanish accent, he answered, "As many as your head can handle, hombre." "And quicker than you can say, the Cat in the Hat never did that." The kitty boy tossed his mask and his cape and a bright yellow banana into his mochila. Then, as he buttoned up his red plaid shirt, he began to sing in a muy, muy soft voice. "Oh, my name is Skippito Frisquito, and I'm off to the school for burritos. 'Cause I've got a good hunch that I'm going to have lunch with a grand old bunch of pochitos." Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. "Listen here, messy missus," said Mama. "How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder?" "Skippy John has it," said his sisters. "What for?" asked Mama. "So he can see the chihuahua in the mirror." The chihuahua, however, was already in his closet boarding a bus for school. Look at that bus. But the kitty boy wasn't the only chihuahua on board. His old amigos, los chimichangos, were going to school too. "Thank dog you made it, dude," exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Sí, Skippito," panted Poquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. "We need your help con el bolito." "Without a datito," declared Skippito. "But who do you need me to help with the bully?" "Because he is a perro mosquito," declared Don Diego, "who borenas around the escuela in a tazolita." "He spins around the school in a tiny teacup?" exclaimed the kitty boy in shock. "Sí, dude," added Don Diego. "He growls and he howls and he wears a suerte de lana también." "Not the wool sweater," said Skippito. "Uh-huh," agreed Paquito Tito, trembling. "He is a woolly bully. There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully, so it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic poofed out the gatito's tail. And all that puffiness inspired the pochitos to sing. Oh, puffy, puffu, puffito, we know you can do it, Scapito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that our old woolly bolito. But there was no turning back now. The dogitos had arrived at school. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First she blew, then she threw. Go fetch, barked Miss Bigelot. Then every dog, big and small, chased a ball down the hall and into a classroom. Except for Skippito. He got carried along by the river of rovers. And I skipped a page. Landed in art class, where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. I've never seen a pup do that before, said Miss Houndler, the art teacher. Then he trotted on over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. Bow wow, woofed Mr. Muzzletuff. What a pair of ears! After music came math, where Skippito stunned Mrs. McDruler with his counting skills. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. At the bell, the amigos followed their noses into the library. Not even a bowl full of frijoles smelled as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I lick libros, declared Il Scapito Fresquito, the great readerito. I like books too, whispered Leonora Lapsitter, the librarian, from behind the bookcase. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fuset. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said the poodles. Fromager. Si, said Skippito. Queso. Queso cabeza, shouted the chimichangos from the rear of the room. I am not a cheese head, chimichangos, chuckled Gatito. I am a Chihuahua. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Puchitos in class with them, and Los Puchitos wanted to share what they had learned with their amigos. Zuzi poopy zang. Come si, come sa, comecito. We have something to tell you, Scapito. When the poodles say we, they really mean si, so don't look for a red hydrontito. After French class, Los Muchachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. I'm not good at following rules, confessed Kitty Boy. What dog is, dude? Gripped Don Diego. But just then the Gatito heard a gut-gurgling growling that shook the entire escuela, perhaps the whole planeta. Holy heartburn, hollered Skippito. Was that my tummy? No, that was the bellow of the woolly bolito, said Potito Tito with a shiverito. The gruesome grumblito grew louder, and along with it came the rattle and plinking of a terrible tazlita. It was spinning wildly right under his nose, circling like a polka-dotted shark. And andale, declared Don Diego. Get out your duds, dude! But Skippito was too frozen with fear to unpack his mochila, so his amigos did it for him, helping to change their chico into El Scapito Fresquito, complete with mask, cape, and banana. Why the plantano, dude? asked Potinolito. It's my snackito, replied Gatito. Will you share it with me? And Totito? Yes, indeedo, agreed Skippito. Then, woof, chugga-lucka-lucka, woof, chugga-lucka-lucka. Every doggy leapt out of the case and latched onto the turbo-ching-ataza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the chicos just hanging on by a tail. Estoy, marido, cried Skippito. You are not dizzy, dude, you are green, yipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of a dog-filled teacup cut a mean path of destruction past the principal's office and spun straight on into the lunch bunch like a bowling ball. Strikeito! Shouted the pochitos. And strike it did. Smash, crackle, and pop! The twirling Tazalinata crashed right into a table and broke apart, exposing the ferocious Fuzzy for what he really was, a teeny, tiny, itsy-bitsy, wool-wearing teacup Chihuahua. Dude, declared Skippito, you're no bigger than a bugito. But the bugito only reply was a gut-gurgling growl greater than the hounds had ever heard before. Is that your tummy? asked Skippito. Sí, replied the bulito. Tengo mucho hambre. I am hungry too, agreed the gatito. But you can have my plateno. This act of kindness made the chimichangos pull out their jump rope right in the middle of the mess. Peanut butter jelly button, chunky cherry pits, the woolly-burly taza has broken into bits. Wiggle waggle, jelly on toast. He's not a woolly-bully, he's just hungrier than most. Just then, Miss Bigelot stomped into the lunchroom. I smell a cat, she bellowed. That cat better scat. Then out came the whistle. First she blew, and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase, except for Skippito. He wasn't chasing the ball. He was running for his life. First Skippy tripped, and then he slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet and back into the arms of his mama, Junebug Jones. What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whistle Whiskers? asked Mama. He broke my teacup, whined Jillyboo. And he ate my banana, complained Jezebel. That's 'cause he went to school with the Chihuahuas, explained Juju B. Later that night, after every Fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater. Then he bounced over to his mama and gave her a beso, a kiss. She felt straight through the layers of her quilt. Good night, little dipper, she said, the very sleepy mama. Good night, Mama, said the very sleepy kitten. The end.